Hey guys, so I'm Mary Beth, that's Styx, and I see donkeys over there giving them a little moral support. So one of the things that we're often asked about up here is kind of the behind the scenes stuff, and hoof care is one of the biggest ones. Now Styx is an old guy. He's been retired from our lesson string for probably a good 4 years or so due to navicular changes. So he has to get a lot of shoeing requirements. And today what I'm going to be doing is putting on his new 3D printed shoes. These are shoes from 3D Hoofworks, which I just discovered recently through another friend. And they make these pretty cool squish pads, they call them. So I'm going to be prepping his feet and putting these pads back on and making them a little bit more comfortable. So first thing I'm going to be doing is some hoof picking, getting them cleaned up, sand up the sides a little bit, and then we'll be prepping our stuff. Good boy. Having a good clean hoof is the first and most important thing. I don't want to be putting something on it that's going to cover these sensitive areas. So I'm going to give it a really good cleaning. The actual farrier was just here, and he has his feet all trimmed up so they fit nicely in these shoes, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply them. But most importantly, we want to make sure that this delicate frog area is protected. So give them a good cleaning. I'm going to throw a little thrush medicine in there. Keep them nice and dry underneath these things. Now it takes a real team of people to keep a program like this on its feet. Everything costs, and our shoer is a great guy, gives us a really good deal, but it's important that we also learn to do a lot of this stuff ourselves, because it's real important we keep them as healthy and happy as they can be. One of the things too is when horses come work for us, they stay here. They spend the rest of their lives here. So when their quote-unquote usefulness has left, that doesn't count. They've done their job. They have taken care of people here for us, and we are going to take care of them. Okay, these shoes, very cool. They just slip on like that. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't stay on really great. They're going to take some work. But yeah, see, these are just little cool shoes. We've measured, like I said, the shoer's already been out here. He's got his feet all nice and trimmed up nice, and now I'm going to apply these. So this is what these look like. Now once that we've got that shoe on there, I'm going to drop a special kind of a glue. It's going to go right down the sides in here. Oops. It's better if I take the tops off. I'm just going to work my way around here. And I'm realizing that I'm going to need a knife. It's a little thick. Back with a better tool. Good boy. I'm getting a little horsey love on my backside here. It tickles. It tickles. Okay, I've got that glue packed in there. Now I'm doing this pretty much as a temporary fix. So there are better ways, better glues to use, but I know I'm going to be wanting access a lot to these feet because I want to keep that inside of them clean. So I don't want it to be so permanent that I can't get to them. So I'm just going to wrap it here, protect the heel. A couple of wraps, help keep the moisture out. This wrap is also going to help keep that shoe on while the glue is drying. And for good measure, I'm going to use an adhesive wrap to go over that. Okay, doing the other side here now on Styxy. I just finished his left front. I'm going to get this right front cleared up. His left front is his more painful one. So I put the shoe on that one first in order to give him some comfort so he can stand for a longer period of time while I work on this one. That's a kind of an interesting thing. You know, if your horse is not picking up like just one foot, it's the other foot, the one that they will pick up easy, is actually the foot that probably hurts. Okay, so it's sort of opposite of what you think. You're thinking, oh, he won't pick his foot up, it must hurt. But see, the foot that's not painful is the one that they want to keep their weight on. Okay, so he would not have picked this foot up as easily. See how he took his weight off that other foot here when I put this one down, because his left front is the foot that has more discomfort. Come on, buddy. See? I don't know if you can hear the creaky bones, but his, not mine, although you can probably hear mine too. So again, I'm going to do some real fine sandpaper. That's just going to give a nice surface for the glue to adhere to and making everything nice and clean. Treating these soles so we don't end up with thrush in there. And these lesson horses, they work real hard and they do a lot of time. This guy came off of a dude ranch. He's got a little frostbite up on his tip of his head and bad eyes. He's got a brand on the back. You know, I think he'd been a hard-working horse most of his life. He got to come up here about probably 10 years ago or so. He worked, probably about 5 years before we started discovering this lameness. And once that happened, it was like, okay, now you get to retire, live out your days, and we will keep you as happy and comfortable as long as we possibly can. He's probably in his mid-20s, mid to late 20s now. And, that's our job, our responsibility to take care of these guys. been helping us. Good. Okay, so I've kind of crammed that shoe on there. Fits real nice and snug. Now comes the blue. Just work that into these edges. Yeah, and these are nice and snug, for sure. They do loosen up a little bit. This is the second time I've been able to apply this particular pair of shoes. Again, 3D hoof work, so far I'm pretty impressed with these guys. So I've got a healthy amount of glue up in there. This is called a hoof lock super glue. And now I'm going to put this tape around the side of it. And this is just going to keep that heel dry and keep that shoe nice and snug while the glue is drying. Good boy. Okay, mostly gluing my own fingers to the shoe right now. Okay, now I'm going to ask for that foot. Oh, crunchy, crunchy bones, huh? Yeah, one of our, probably some of our biggest expenses with the horses around here is actually food. Of course, because again, many of our horses, to do the kind of work they do, are on the older side. A lot of them need special supplements and special pelleted foods. This guy can't eat alfalfa because he's got some weird allergies. But we got to keep them comfortable and happy and really give back to them because they've done so much. They work with people that are very inexperienced riders, or some folks that have disabilities where their body doesn't work quite like everybody's bodies work. And so maybe, like for example, there's some things like palsy, and there's like a spasm type of a reaction. So when a rider is riding, when they're dealing with something like CP, and then they have these spasms where they get really stiff, your horses have got to be able to handle that. And it takes a really particular horse personality that I call horsenality, their nature, their training. You've got to have the right horses, and we have an exceptional herd of horses. And like I said, just because they're retired, this guy doesn't do anything except get brushed. Doesn't look like it now, but his job is just to mostly just be loved and brushed on. But it's our duty to care for them. Good boy. Okay, again, put a little sticky tape. Just kind of hold the whole package on. Only because I ran out of the elasticon tape on the other foot. That actually works better than just plain old duct tape like this, but that has something. Those are some of the things that we can use if you ever have products or something that you just got to clean out your own bar and you want to help out a nonprofit. We can always use things like elasticon tape and vet wrap, things like that. So anyways, that's what it looks like when you're done. And he's got a couple of fresh little shoes on there, and I'm going to send him on his way. And I'll bet you'll have a happy camper. And then we'll get the next one. All right, Stixie, go enjoy your feet. What do you think? You may be excused. Yeah, he's looking good.